In the annals of human history, certain events etch themselves onto the collective memory of mankind. Wars, famines, and natural disasters leave indelible scars, shaping civilizations and echoing through generations. The 1918 influenza pandemic swept across the world with terrifying speed and ferocity. The Spanish flu emerged during World War I, adding horror to an already devastated world. The virus spread like wildfire, crossing borders and oceans with ease. Hospitals overflowed with the sick and dying, their corridors echoing with the sound of coughs and labored breathing. The impact of the 1918 influenza pandemic extended far beyond the staggering death toll. It reshaped societies, exposed the vulnerabilities of healthcare systems, and left an enduring legacy of fear and uncertainty. In an instant, the world was transformed, forced to confront its own mortality and the fragility of human existence. Cities ground to a halt as businesses shuttered, schools closed, and public gatherings were banned. The very fabric of social life unraveled as people retreated into their homes, desperate to avoid the invisible enemy that lurked in the air they breathed. Fear and suspicion became the order of the day, as neighbours turned against neighbours and communities grappled with the overwhelming scale of the crisis. The pandemic's impact on the global economy was equally profound. With millions sickened and unable to work, industries ground to a halt, supply chains were disrupted, and trade networks collapsed. The world, already reeling from the economic consequences of the Great War, was plunged further into chaos and uncertainty. The true scale of the 1918 influenza pandemic is difficult to comprehend, even a century later. Estimates vary, but historians believe that the virus infected as many as 500 million people worldwide, 1/3 of the global population at the time. Of those infected, an estimated 50 to 100 million succumbed to the disease, making it one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. To put this staggering death toll in perspective, it is useful to compare it to other major historical events. The First World War, which raged for over 4 years, claimed an estimated 40 million lives. The Second World War, even more destructive, resulted in an estimated 70 to 85 million deaths. The 1918 influenza pandemic, in a matter of months, killed more people than both of these global conflicts combined. The pandemic's impact was felt across the globe, from the bustling cities of Europe and North America to the remote villages of Asia and Africa. No corner of the world was spared from its reach, and no demographic group was immune to its devastating effects. Section 4. A legacy erased. Despite the profound impact of the 1918 influenza pandemic, its memory faded quickly. The world moved on, eager to forget the horrors and embrace a new era. The trauma was so profound that many buried it deep within their subconscious. The pandemic coincided with World War I, overshadowing it in public consciousness. The flu became a footnote, a grim subplot in a larger narrative. Section 5. Remembering to remember. The fading memory of the 1918 influenza pandemic serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the selective nature of human memory and the importance of historical awareness. It highlights our tendency to remember what we choose to remember, to focus on certain narratives while neglecting others, often for reasons of comfort, convenience, or political expediency. By understanding the factors that contributed to the pandemic's erasure from public memory, we can begin to grapple with the complexities of historical remembrance. We can learn to be more critical consumers of information, questioning dominant narratives and seeking out voices and perspectives that have been marginalized or forgotten. Moreover, remembering the 1918 influenza pandemic is not merely an academic exercise. It holds valuable lessons for the present and the future. By studying the successes and failures of past pandemic responses, we can better prepare for future outbreaks and mitigate their impact. The 1918 pandemic, though a century removed, remains a stark reminder of our shared vulnerability to infectious diseases and the importance of global cooperation in the face of such threats.